Hello pals, and welcome to another video. Please hit that subscribe button and thumbs up button if you haven't already, but let's get this thing started. All right, I am in front of my bookshelf because I thought it'd be kind of fun to do this freak out tag going around, or this like tag that talks about your mid-year reading and the books you like so far, the books you don't like so far, etc, etc. And I wanted it to be pretty chill, so I was like, okay, let me just stand literally in front of my bookshelf and pick the books like with you guys and just, you know, have it more relaxed. But I'm a bit nervous about this because I feel like it's gonna be really challenging to pick like one book per question, but I'm gonna challenge myself and I'm gonna try to pick like specific books. Like I don't want to just show you like 5 books for one question at least. Like at least just 2 per question, all right? That's what I'm holding myself to right now. This is me going through the Freak Out tag, which is essentially just a bunch of questions to go over what your favorite books are, what your least favorite books, favorite sequels, blah, blah, blah. We'll go through it. Obviously, you'll see the questions. Why am I doing this? Anyway, yeah, so let's just kick it off. Let's get started. All right, so the first question is best book you've read this year. I'm going to do like a non-fiction and then a fiction. So, geez, can't wait. This is a bit harder than I thought. The thing I have about this question is like I could pick a different one every day. My gut said to say this, so I'm gonna say it. And I'll probably bring this book up a couple times, which bothers me, but it is what it is. Anyway, is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This was my favorite little romance from this year. If you're a Canadian and you've done like cottage country trips every summer, then you will relate to this book so much. It's like very cute, small, and the scenery and just the nostalgia of like a good Canadian summer and like a little summer fling in a cottage is like so well done in this book. So highly recommend picking this up, especially if you're a Canadian who as a child went to a cottage. So really, really cute, and I loved it. And the other book I wanted to say was a nonfiction, which is the title is The Book of Joy, so I'll pop it on the screen or somewhere. This book literally changed my life. Like my viewpoint on how I should, you know, give more and that will fulfill not only myself but others around me and like help grow us as a community. Anyway, it's life-changing. I need the physical copy so I can read it again and tab it, but I highly, highly recommend. It just gave me like a whole new viewpoint to communicate with others, how to communicate with myself. It's just life-changing, so highly, highly recommend that book. Best sequel you've read this year. The best sequel I read this year is by far going to be A Court of Mist and Fury. It is the second book in the Court of Rose and Thorns ACOTAR series, and this one is by far the best one in the series, and I'm obsessed. And if you know, you know. Just yes, the change in like romantic partners that happens and the ability for Sarah J Maas to fully make me agree with this change is so good, so good. The found family in that book as well. Oh, I just can't get over it. I can't get over that. Will stick with me. I could honestly choose that as my favorite book as well. Just so good, so good. New releases you haven't read yet but want to. So I definitely want to read Carly Soto by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love, love, love all of her like celebrity style books, and this one is like the 4th one in that like series, and all of them are kind of connected. So Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Malibu Rising, and Daisy Jones and the Six are the ones that are currently out. Honestly, I could pick Daisy Jones and the Six as one of my favorite books too. Anyways, I've read so many good books this year, I can't choose. But anyways, her books are amazing, all 5-star reads for me. So I cannot wait to read Carly Soto, because I can't wait to see like how it connects to the other books, but also just another book from her. I just know it's gonna be a 5-star read. Like I just know. And then the other book I'm excited for is It Started With Us by Colleen Hoover. I pre-ordered this book. I'm excited to read it, but also like not that excited to read it. I pre-ordered it like right away, and I loved It End With Us, but the longer I sit with that book, the more I'm like, don't really care for it compared to other reads I've read this year. And I'm interested in how she's going to do this like pre-log or story point of view of the other character, but at the same time I'm not sure it's gonna hit. Like I'm expecting it to be like a 3-star reads for me. And if she burns up Ellen in that book like she did in It Ends With Us, I'm gonna lose it, because that part was just so annoying to me. Like there were so many like little things about Colleen Hoover sometimes that just bothered me, so I'm not sure I'm gonna love it, but I have pre-ordered it and I am going to read it right away. So those are my 2 books. Biggest surprise. Okay. I gotta say my biggest surprise was My Dark Vanessa. So I knew this was like an it girl book, aka very dramatic, very dark, and thought-provoking, but I didn't realize how thought-provoking this is and how long it would stick with me for. I just am still a little bit shocked by this. If you watched my July reading wrap up, then you know all my thoughts on this, but if you haven't, then go check out that video. I don't want to go over them all over again, but I hated this book, but I love this book, and it will not stop sticking in my brain. So that's how I'll summarize that. Favorite new author? Actually, my favorite new author is Taylor Jenkins Reid's. This is Malibu Rising, which I loved, but also I loved Daisy Jones and the Six, and also I loved Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I picked her up this year, and it has like been so good. I've loved all of her books and highly recommend them to anyone, especially if you're looking for, you know, that celebrity life kind of style with a classic like romance or found family trope. She's really, really good at found family, especially in this book, and I just have been obsessed. Her writing style is so fast-paced yet so detailed, and just the character development is always on par, so Taylor Jenkins Reid. Newest fictional crush, I'm going to say Carden. It's weird to say this because I know there's a lot of back and forth, like some people love Carden, some people hate him. And honestly, I don't know where I stand with him a little bit, but I think that's why I like him, is because he's just like, he's almost just like there, but he's like caring at the same time. I don't know. He's a little back and forth, and that's why I enjoyed reading him. So I'm gonna say Carden. I'm gonna say Carden. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I don't care what you say. I just did it, so I did it. Book that made me cry. There was a couple. My Dark Vanessa made me cry, but I'm not gonna bring that book back up because I already talked about it. Honestly, I'm gonna say this, and I feel like it's gonna shock people, but The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue made me cry. And the reason this one made me cry is because the depiction of depression within this book and the way that she poetically talks about depression with the main characters was so well written. I just feel like it was so well done, and some of her lines made me cry because they were just like hit a feeling that you just can't explain with words, but somehow she explained them with words and just hits deep, you know? So The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue did make me cry. Book that made you happy. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of books that make me happy, so like I feel like all of my rom-coms kind of make me happy, you know, they always end in like a cute romance, like how are you not gonna be happy after reading them? But I'm gonna say this one because it's also surprising. I just feel like it's fun to like bring up surprising books that maybe you haven't seen on YouTube in this tag yet. So I'm gonna say Hail Mary. This book is very unexpected for me. It's really, really good. It's kind of like a sci-fi-ish book. And the reason this made me so happy is because, without giving too much away, it's really like the book is about this, the main character waking up in space and not knowing why he's in space and not knowing his mission of basically he needs to save the world. And along the way he meets essentially an alien or an out of Earth creature, and they do not speak the same language, but they communicate, and the stories they tell in both of their missions and working together, even though they're not at all the same, just the compassion that the two characters have for each other. And again, I really want to give it away, but things happen between the two of them in a tragic way, and it just made me really happy in the sense that two people, even if they're not the same or have the same language or have the same mannerisms or even eat the same, can come together and try to save both of the people that they love. So it just was really cute in that way. It made me happy that, you know, there's hope in the way that we can band together for a one mission in a sense. So yes, really good book. Most beautiful book you've read this year. So I don't usually buy like special edition books. I just don't. I feel like if you want to buy a special edition book, like you have to read the non-special edition book first and then like go out and buy the special edition one, which I don't feel like I love any book enough to have a secondary one of it or purchase it basically again. But you know, never say never. It could happen. So like out of my books, which one do I think just physically looks the cutest? Maybe I'll just say this one, The Female Persuasion. Maybe just because I have a color coordinated bookshelf. So this one on my color coordinated bookshelf looks pretty cute, if you ask me. I honestly don't really remember what that book's about though, so I'm not really recommending it as a book. It's a cute cover. Can't deny it. Can't deny that. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? The two ones that are coming out, I need to read for sure. Other than that, I really don't give myself TBRs that often. I really like to read with my mood that week, so I don't really like to set myself TBRs because honestly too, like the hype of having a book just sitting there waiting for you kind of bothers me. But these ones up here, I have, other than Love and Other Words, I haven't read yet, so I am anticipating ones like these. So Breast and Eggs by Miyoko. She's a famous like international author, so I'm excited to read this one that I found in a book box near me, so score. And then also I picked this one up at a book box near me, The High Mountain of Portugal. This is the same author of Life of Pi, so I'm excited to dive into this one. And Also picked up this one, which is the Evening Chorus. And yeah, it just has a lot of words. I don't really know what this one's about, but those are on my TBR portion of my shelf right now, so I guess I'm excited to read those. But I don't really like picking TBRs. I usually have some books sitting here mostly just because of book boxes near me. If I give a book and there's one that really strikes my eye, then I will pick it up. I'm not just gonna leave it, but other than that, don't usually keep TBRs because I want to go with what I gut instinct feel like reading that day. So anyways, that's it, friends. That's my entire tag, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some inspo for some new books to read for the second half of this year, and I hope we have an amazing second half of this year like we did the first half. But yes, please remember to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!